Greetings, everyone. It's great to be with you again and learning with you. Our Department of Instruction teleconference presentation title today is Initiation. Now, the Rosicrucian Order is an initiatic organization, and this is central to our meaning and purpose as Rosicrucians and as the Rosicrucian tradition. Now, I'm just going to put up some slides for you, and we'll work towards having a meditation, and then we'll enter into the presentation proper. Now, you'll see here the Cathedral of the Transfiguration. It's in Markham, Ontario, Canada. It was originally built starting in 1984 as a Slavic Catholic church and cathedral. And it's a very beautiful structure to walk around. Sometimes when I'm thinking about what to say to you, I will go to this place and I'll walk around the temple and I'll follow the direction of the sun, that is, circumambulate the temple in a sunwise direction. And there's a great sense that in a cathedral or a temple, it is a mesocosm. That is, it is a world between us as a microcosm and the holy temple, which houses our mighty divine within, our God within. And also the earth is a mesocosm between us as a microcosm and the larger macrocosm of the entirety of creation. All these help the outer mind to understand these deeper teachings that come through initiation. And often, sometimes too, on the higher upper gold plated cupolas, you'll see there the sun shining late in the day is very inspiring. And as one comes in closer to the symbolic or liturgical west facade, one sees various mosaics of an inspiring nature that pertain to initiation. Particularly here to help us with our own meditation practice that we're about to do, we see the Transfiguration mosaic where Yeshua, the master at the center here, took his specially selected disciples, Peter, James, and John, brother of the Yeshua. And we'll see beside the Master Jesus, or the Christ here, on the right is Moses. We know that by the iconographic identification by holding the tablets of the 10 Commandments, and also Elias here. Very beautifully here, we just see that Transfiguration has a wealth of mystical meanings. By mysticism, we mean the art and science of love, the union with all, the union with the divine, and the full maturation of the human being. And we see that encapsulated in this beautiful mosaic of the Transfiguration. Now, the Rosicrucian Order, AMORC, is not a religion, but it deeply appreciates spiritual traditions of the world. And through our teachings of the monographs on a weekly basis, we come into a much deeper understanding of spirituality in all its forms. Now, one of the meanings of the Transfiguration is that the specially selected disciples of the Master Jesus, or Master Yeshua, Peter, James, and John, are being initiated by the Master Yeshua. And we see the figure of Moses and Elias. They're in the initiation chain, the transmission of the initiation, the gnosis, the deeper knowledge and wisdom, and the capacity to commune with the cosmic. By cosmic, we need all natural and spiritual laws and the universal intelligence back of the universe and cosmos. So in a way, we see a wonderful depiction here of initiation, which is our topic today. Also befitting in this matter, the very term cathedral comes from the Latin cathedra, or throne, the throne of the bishop. And that cathedra is an apostolic succession, or again, the initiation chain from bishop to bishop to bishop to bishop, going back through time to the Master Yeshua. So we see there also the cathedra itself speaks of initiation in a variety of ways. Also, this image of the Transfiguration is a way that we come into initiation and cosmic communion, which is at the heart of initiation. Indeed, you can think of initiation, and again, from the Latin, initiatus means a beginning, a training, or the beginning of training, their beginning of preparation. And one, in initiations of a spiritual nature, one is introduced into the mysteries or the profound teachings, the gnosis. In fact, in ancient Rome, the mysteries were referred to as initia. So we see from this, built into the term initiation is the mysteries, and to be the mysteries were initia, and to enter into this is to be initiate. Now let us prepare for meditation, and then we'll continue our presentation. Take in a little more this inspiring image of the transfiguration. In a way, as true initiation, it's a psychodrama going on within ourselves in our deeper nature. In a way, you see the Master Jesus or the Master Yeshua there, but more fundamentally, it's seeing the divine within yourself, the Master within, one's true nature. And powerful images like this help draw that forward to us to be fully ourselves and to be fully mature as a person, and help assist others to come into that understanding as well. Now, when you've taken the image in well and been inspired by it, I invite you to close your eyes and take a few deep neutral breaths, making sure you're comfortably seated. Spine upright. I suggest hands in your lap, palms down. Your legs at right angles at the knee, feet flat on the floor, about 8 inches apart. Well founded in the temple of the earth, associated with the temple of the body. And now we'll rise up into the temple of the divine, the cosmos. To prepare ourselves for the great ascent and the deeper experience of this transformation or transfiguration at the heart of true initiation. Let us take a few deep neutral breaths, taking in the vital life force. Continue to take deep neutral breaths, either holding the inhalation or holding the exhalation. You may feel a wonderful tingling in your body, that vital life force animating your body as beings of light. Now, every true initiation, so I'll elaborate later, has four phases. The first is separation, then the admission, then the exhibition, and fourth and final, the re-entry. We'll follow that in our ascent to the heights of the celestial sanctum, following the Rosicrucian booklet, Liber 777, which we'll make available to you later in this presentation. And as you're feeling relaxed and letting go of who you are and where you are, and just feeling the enrichment of the temple, the body, houses the mighty master within, the God within. And as we do this, we enter into the traditional phase of initiation, the separation. It's like a mini retreat. We're letting go of daily living now. We're turning inward. As we achieve this stage of separation. Now we'll begin the phase of admission. And we'll do that by saying a prayer and invocation, which I invite you to say inwardly with me. May the divine essence of the cosmic infuse my being and cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may enter into the celestial sanctum and attune in pureness and in worthiness. So be it in truth, so mote it be. Now continue to take deep neutral breaths and then start to gently rise in your imagination and through psychic means up above the room where you are. and even above the house or dwelling where you are. As we continue to be admitted in this cosmic communion and initiation phase. And look down now on the neighborhood where you dwell and see its system and order. And continue to go up, speeding up, going faster, faster. Looking down now in the city or town, or geographic area where you are, and enjoy the exhilaration of the ascent as we accelerate greatly. Now taking in the province or state, and you can see the great weather systems, and the great landforms, oceans or lakes or prairies or mountains or hills and woods, whatever is applicable to your province or state. And continue to go faster, speeding up ever more. And take in the entire great nation where you dwell. See the great weather systems. Feel the great rays of the sun as we rise up further and get a sense of the continent where you dwell, and now even the hemisphere. And see the beautiful blue jewel of the earth revolving about its axis. And go faster and faster, speeding up, accelerating tremendously. And look up around you and see the beautiful planets that are also revolving about the sun like the earth, our home. See the great fiery ball of the sun. See the huge planet of Jupiter and Mars and Venus and the rings around Saturn, and see their great harmony and order and beautiful music that they make. And let's rise up faster and faster, going way beyond our home of the solar system. And let's take in increasing high octaves of vibration on what the Rosicrucians refer to as the cosmic keyboard, taking in not only what we usually sense for the 5 physical senses, but the entire sea of vibrations. They're all around us, the great body of the Milky Way galaxy. See myriad stellar phenomena, the quasars, the pulsars, huge stars way bigger than our sun, supernovae blasting with tremendous light, binary stars working together, but also sense the presence of black holes that help balance the universe. Pass by nebula and see the great system and order and beauty of it all in the tremendous sea of vibrations. Sense that we're in a great arm of the Milky Way galaxy, a spiraling galaxy, and go faster and faster, way beyond the speed of light as we transcend space and time. We're no longer limited by physical limitations. And rise right out of the great arm of the Milky Way galaxy and look back at it, see its beautiful colors and great spiraling motion about its center, just as the planets revolve about the sun and our earth about its axis. See the great system and order and harmony of it all. And look up beyond the Milky Way galaxy and see other spiraling galaxies and nebula and myriad stellar phenomena and the interstellar spaces and gases. And go faster and faster, accelerating ever greatly, so far beyond the speed of light. And sense now not only galaxies and stars, but also what astronomers refer to as superclusters of galaxies. And take in the myriad superclusters of galaxies. And have a great sense of awe and wonder at the beauty and order of it all. And as you sense many, many myriad superclusters of galaxies, also start to sense the universe as a whole, revolving about a great axis, a great cosmic axis, spoken of by mystics, philosophers since ancient times. Sense all the stars and planets, heavenly bodies, galaxies, nebula, the superclusters of galaxies revolving about a great center. Speed towards that center along the great axis, the cosmic axis. Go faster and faster and take it all in. The great beauty and harmony of the spheres. Inspiring, more beautiful than any music ever heard before on Earth. which all earthly music seeks to imitate and draw us towards. Sense now the presence of that great cosmic axis and speed towards its midpoint. And as you come to that great center midpoint of the cosmic axis, at the center of the cosmos, slow up there. Look around and take in the great beauty. We've entered now into the exhibition phase, a traditional initiation, and as part of our ascent to the heights of celestial sanctum. We're in awe, suggests our consciousness, not only of self, but of the cosmos, our cosmic consciousness. And as described in the book Liber 777, visualize and picture your celestial sanctum. You may wish to just keep it as a beautiful, inspiring view of the cosmos all around you at this great center. Or maybe as an inspiring temple like the cathedral we saw earlier, or a synagogue, or a mosque, or dwara, or a stupa, or a mandir, or in some inspiring place in nature, a sacred grove of trees, or a beautiful meadow, or on the banks of a lake, seeing all the ripples of the waves coming in, suggesting higher octaves of vibration throughout the cosmos, or by a seashore. Wherever it is, fill in your special sacred place now with all its sights and sounds. It's within a temple-like structure. You may wish to sense incense rising up, suggesting transmutation, raising of consciousness, just like I'm rising to the heights of the celestial sanctum. There may be beautiful chants or songs, part of a ritual, and beautiful stained glass windows around you. Sense others of like mind and of this teleconference today in your celestial sanctum and other seekers throughout the temple of the earth and the cosmos. There may be a special ritual or initiation by the imperator of our Rosicrucian Order and Grand Masters there. Feel in the sights and sounds and feel the awe and exhilaration of being at the center of the cosmos, at the center of your being. For as we rose up with tremendous speed and force to this center of the cosmos, we went deep within ourselves by the law of correspondence, as above, so below, to dwell deeply within with our divine nature, our true self, the master within. And when you've filled in these sights and sounds, take time now to dwell there in deep stillness and a profound peace that the Rosicrucians refer to as peace profound. Let us be still now. Mind your mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to the gentle rhythm of the breath at the center of your being, at the center of the cosmos. Meditation is a profound act of non-avoidance. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Whatever comes up, take note of it, but return back to the gentle rhythm of the breath. It resonates with all the vibrations of the higher octaves that associate with it. In this way, we're in the stage of exhibition. Take in whatever sacred signs or symbols come forward from the divine within, but just then return back to the gentle rhythm of the breath and the deep peace profound of the celestial sanctum. Feel the deep enrichment of this still center, the stillness and silence. Let us undertake a further spiritual operation of the work and worship of the Rosicrucian Order AMORC. Let us participate in the work of the Silent Council in conjunction with the Council of Solace of the Grand Lodge. Let us radiate love and well-being who have petitioned the Grand Lodge for healing, for health and wellness and guidance. And if you're a member of a Rosicrucian affiliate body, radiate love and well-being to all those who are on your metaphysical aid list. And radiate love and well-being to all those that you know who are in need. And radiate love and well-being ultimately to all those sentient beings throughout the cosmos in need. At first, with your imagination and psychically radiate love and well-being out from you like a great floodlight going out from your being, spreading out throughout the cosmos. Just like we rose up into the heights of the celestial sanctum with great speed, now project out from you the love and well-being like great rays of light throughout the cosmos. Let it flow. Just keep it flowing through conscious effort at first. Feel the exhilaration of this effort and service. I think you'll sense at a certain point that you'll no longer need to make a conscious effort for the radiations of love and well-being to flow out from within you, from deep within the divine within. You're acting as a channel or an agent, a God within. The source of this love and well-being flowing out through you, through the temple, the body. At a certain point too, I think you'll experience the radiations of love and well-being speeding up or proceeding out in a less hindered way, and you'll know that you're making contact with those in need. Just let it flow. When you no longer need to make a conscious effort to let the forces continue in this fashion, continue to dwell at the still center, the heights of the celestial sanctum, at one with the God within. We formally conclude this period of radiating love and well-being in the work of the Silent Council in conjunction with the Council of Solace, but we'll continue our meditation. To formally conclude this period of radiating love and well-being that is directing metaphysical aid, we'll say, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done. So be it in truth. So mote it be. But let us continue to dwell at the heights of the celestial sanctum. At this time, I invite you to picture your mind expanding out from the heights of the celestial sanctum to throughout the cosmos. Sense your mind filling in the cosmos, becoming one with the cosmic mind. In this manner, be the cosmic mind. Experience as the cosmic mind experiences. Assume the cosmic mind now. You to be the cosmic mind. You to assume the cosmic mind. The heights of the celestial sanctum. I will soon begin our descent from the heights of the celestial sanctum. We'll complete this stage of exhibition. Exhibited by the experience of the cosmic consciousness, by various laws, sacred images that may have come forward to our consciousness in cosmic communion. We'll now shift to the fourth and final stage of traditional initiation, the re-entry. But before we get us in our descent, we may wish to say inwardly a prayer of gratitude for all those who have loved us and love us, all those who have assisted us, all those who have taught us deeper purpose and meaning in life. Let's radiate love and well-being and our gratitude to them now. And now let us begin our re-entry. Let's descend from the heights of the celestial sanctum, passing at tremendous speed the superclusters of the galaxies. We pass myriad galaxies and nebulae, stellar phenomena, the quasars, the pulsars, the binary stars, the supernovae, the black holes. Enjoy the beautiful views, great system and order and music of the cosmos the sea of vibrations, and see way in the distance this great spiraling galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, our home, and zoom in on the great arm where we dwell and enter into the Milky Way galaxy, and past the myriad stellar phenomena and nebula, and see way in the distance the great fiery ball, the sun, our star, and the solar system, and speed towards it, and the beautiful blue jewel of the earth as we make our re-entry back on the temple of the earth. And see the hemisphere where you dwell, and the continent, and the country, and the state or province. And you can say inwardly with me, may the God of my heart sanctify the attunement of this self with the celestial sanctum. So be it in truth, so mote it be. And now let's come down to the city or geographic area where you dwell, in your neighborhood, and then your home, and then into the room where you dwell. And when you're ready, you can stretch and open your eyes, rejuvenated, remade, regenerated, ready for further work and worship of the Rosicrucian Order, AMORC. You can open your eyes. Thank you, fathers and sorors and participants. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you see before us depicted an initiation where we come into a cosmic communion. Most fundamentally, an initiation can be viewed as a simple or sometimes an elaborate ceremony. It can depict before us a psychodrama, a process taking within us, akin to or parallel to this great scene in this mosaic of the Transfiguration, spoken of in sacred texts of the Gospels. The initiation engenders within us the development of the inner consciousness, and the divine laws and principles are portrayed and experienced during the ritual and ceremony. A traditional phrase for the Rosicrucians that sums this up well is that initiation brings into the realm of reason the purpose, and into the realm of emotion the spirit of one's introduction into the mysteries. And we see here beautifully applied the Rosicrucian law of the triangle, or the law of manifestation, where we have reason at one point and emotion at other, well balanced. And they come together at the third point of creation to have the initiatory experience of cosmic communion, which is our true nature and birthright. By mysteries, we mean the profound teachings and gnosis that lie deep within us to be drawn out, the ultimate wisdom. Indeed, as I mentioned earlier, in ancient Rome, the mysteries were called initia. And so initiation is being brought in, prepared and brought into that new beginning, that new way of living, being more fully mature as a human being, and then being more able to be godly in a union with God. To develop this further, I'll mention some things that are in the Sanctuary of Self by past Imperator Ralph M. Lewis, which I follow here. And I'll give later, Karen will post in the chat resources for you to follow up on these matters. Now, three important things that happen in initiation or actions is that an initiation will cause us to resort to introspection. That is, that it will cause us to turn our consciousness inwardly, to look upon ourselves. There will be self-analysis. That's wonderfully portrayed by this work of art by John William Goddard. It's entitled Lycina. And you see a beautiful sense of self-analysis, contemplation, sensing the divine within, ever present and ready to assist us. depicted in this work of art. The master within is our true guide in life. And this is what initiation helps draw us into in this first stage, to cause us to have introspection. But then following that, within a true initiation, it's going to engender within us aspiration and idealism. That is, in the initiation, there's a truthfulness and a power, efficacy of the teachings imparted to us. You know, reaching this stage, we must show our worthiness. That is, in our attitude and our purpose and our preparedness. And there can be a stage within this, is called the terror of the threshold, where we feel our deep foundations within ourselves are changing. But if we follow the guidance of the master within, we know that this is for a great benefit and well-being. And what seems so fearful, Terry, has actually got a great life affirming lesson for us to pass forward into a new stage of a maturity, in a way moving from childhood into adulthood in an inner spiritual sense. We see this in a way portrayed here by past imperator of the Rosicrucian Order, Ralph M. Lewis. He's in the king's chamber in the Great Pyramid of Cheops in Giza, Egypt. He's standing by the stone coffin or sarcophagus there, and he's showing how it was used during initiation. The candidate underwent a symbolic death and was raised from the coffin, a rebirth into greater understanding, maturity, and illumination, a communion with the divine within, an entry into cosmic consciousness. Indeed, Plato, who was initiated into the mysteries in ancient Egypt, wrote that in these initiations into the mystery, to die is to be initiated. But it's an inner symbolic death that takes place psychologically, psychically, and spiritually, and ultimately transformative for the temple, holy temple that is our body. Continuing in this fashion, you see the arms raised for the initiator and helping the initiate pass through these important phases, but also that the initiate rising from the sarcophagus would raise hands heavenward, suggesting the new illumination that had occurred, the new way of life that had been entered into. Sometimes these things were also symbolically shown by passing from one chamber or antechamber into the temple proper, into that expansive view of the symbolism of the temple being introduced to it, or from a dark room into a bright illumined room, and other related ways that these things are symbolized so that the outer nature can appreciate what's going on inwardly and being suggested to experience inwardly. Also, third, as an action, is that a true initiation will exact from us a sacred obligation or vows or promise, which we make to ourselves or to others, that we thereby seek to fulfill our aspirations. One way this can be shown here is by when the Queen vowed to reign as a representative of the Christ principle with virtue and justice for the well-being of the British Commonwealth. Here we see Queen Elizabeth II on June 2nd, 1952. And she's pictured wearing St. Edward's crown and carrying the scepter and rod after her coronation in Westminster Abbey. She was anointed there, and it's good to recall too that Christ means to be the anointed one. And she was anointed under a canopy with the Knights of the Garter or holding up. And in that oil, that sacred oil that was placed on her forehead and her breast and other places, that was symbolizing to her or exhibiting to her a sacred sign associated with the Christ consciousness or the God consciousness, cosmic consciousness, for her to be able to rule in a virtuous way and thoughtful of others. You find in ourselves that we're called to be a sovereign. For when we enter into a more mature state, the state of the cosmic consciousness, we're thinking not only of our well-being, but all persons' well-being, all creatures' well-being. And that way we come into the true concept of the sovereign as a divine archetype, uniting our inner and outer natures, which is fundamental to initiation. Now, to go over again some of those 4 fundamental stages which we enacted with our meditation period at the heights of the celestial sanctum. The first important stage, the past imperator Ralph M. Lewis emphasizes to us in his book, Sanctuary Self, is that of separation. Separation, when is set apart temporarily from everyday living. There is a turning inward to reflect and take stock of one's life. This is done in initiation, but it can be done daily in our many retreats of contemplation and meditation, because in a way, initiation happens formally with a ceremony, but in a way it happens daily as we meditate, as we come into new understanding. Indeed, as we breathe, we find that our mind is refocused as we take breaths and focus on the concentration of the breath on a daily, as we meditate, but as a daily mindful practice, where the breath initiates us into a unified presence and unified present, or living in the moment. And then we can be more fully ourselves using all of our faculties. Following this separation, there's a second phase, which is that of the admission. The candidate realizes that they're being drawn into a higher plane of understanding and living. It could be a movement from a chamber to the temple itself, as I mentioned, or a dark room to a bright room, or rising up from the sarcophagus, such as the initiations that are traditionally done in Egypt in the Great Pyramid. These outer features assist the outer self to comprehend what is being conveyed inwardly. The next phase, or the 4th stage, I should say the 3rd stage, is exhibition. Here, there is revealed to the candidate and displayed sacred effects representing truths and divine principles and laws. It could be a staff of wheat, such as in the Eleusinian mysteries, associated with the birth and rebirth of plants such as wheat, just as the human being does as a sentient being in the holy temple of the body. Or it could be displaying certain symbols, such as in a knighting ceremony, the swords, or in one of the sovereignship, the coronation, the various scepters and swords associated with different forms of justice and symbolism for the rule, for then the sacred vow to be taken, to be ever different from then on. And then finally, there is the 4th stage, the re-entry. And here the initiate is returning to everyday living. Some would say in somewhat symbolic terms, the profane world, but still loving and accepting of it. But now changed, transformed, ready to begin applying what is being learned for their evolution and the well-being of others. It's important to keep in mind too that in this initiation, the true initiation leads us to cosmic communion, cosmic consciousness, and contact with the cosmic masters. You may wish to read a little bit more about that in the Rosicrucian manual. It's an historic text, but it still has much of great value for us when we read it with discernment. And I'll give you a link to it in the chat later with the resources that Karen will post. So we see this great movement of moving in greater maturity in contact with the cosmic masters, and drawing forth the cosmic communion and cosmic consciousness, which is our true nature and purpose as a human, and indeed our meaning in life, even our mission in life. We are initiated into is that we are going to apply these teachings of the initiation to fill out purpose in life. Now, our daily monographs and teachings of the Rosicrucian Order always prepare us for these forms of initiation. Now, it may be asked, Why are the 3 actions and 4 stages by which we recognize the true initiation necessary? And why is initiation itself indispensable to be fully ourselves and attain self-mastery? Well, all these processes are involved in initiation itself to intensify our focus on balancing our faculties to experience cosmic consciousness, and for our whole nature to appreciate and approach self-mastery. It's a fundamental part of being a human being, a sentient being. In a way, it's our birthright, and it's divinely given and ordained. Maybe also ask, how can we assist in such initiations for others, praying a great gratitude and upliftment? How can we assist others? We want to give back. We do that through various lines of service that we're drawn to through our strengths. Whatever strength and prowess we have, we give back when used for the well-being of others. And we'll be guided through initiation or cosmic attunement, specific lines of service that are our mission in life, and more. But one thing is very special about being a Rosicrucian student. If one lives near a lodge, one may be asked to take part in the ritual dramas as a ritualistic officers, and one can assist in the temple degree initiations of the Rosicrucian Order as an initiatic, esoteric order. And that can be deeply meaningful to take part of that ritual team and thereby assist others in being initiated and coming into cosmic communion. But also more generally, whether one lives close to a lodge or not, as we grow in our maturity and grow in our self-mastery, our very presence and example will be a leading light to others, and others will approach us for our guidance, and others will take particular observation of how we're doing to others. And in that fashion, they'll be gradually come to the threshold to be initiated into cosmic attunement and cosmic consciousness in their own way. So today, we've looked at initiation, and it's something that takes place in ancient Egypt, but it takes place worldwide. It may be the Inuit shaman, or in the north of Canada, the United States, or Siberia, for example, or it may be in the Eastern countries through Hindu or Buddhist initiations and their esoteric traditions. It may be for First Nations through their various initiations, such as the Medewiwin of the Anishinaabe, or part of the Ojibwe. It's throughout the world, initiation takes place. It's fundamental to how we grow and learn. And we've learned more about and appreciate more how the Rosicrucian Order AMORC is an initiatic organization. And we've explored the process of initiation for our deeper appreciation of the divine within and how we come into an increased capacity of service. Thank you very much.